Well, no,
Everything was staff-driven, nothing was lay-driven.
Yeah.
that's right. No priesthood of believers with leadership in place to be able to respond to that. Okay.
I think,
It's down, that had consistently kind of gone in that direction. Yeah.
I think one of the things that we can do that is readily available to us and to involve people and get them on board with the church as a new believer also. I agree with Chick Shaver's study and the whole way that works. But we need to just invite people and become a part of their lives
Yeah.
as a congregation.
Yeah. The transformation
And get
takes
them
place
involved.
with the love response.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get them involved.
Yeah. Well, but though we can say get them involved, but we want them to get involved in things that are going to be successful in the Lord.
Like a
You know what I
small
mean?
group.
Not just to get them involved, for something else to do, but that they are being intentionally challenged that, on the mission, and that they realize they're a part of the mission, they're a vital part of the mission. And that's what's really key.
Nourish and encourage them.
Right.
Using your baby metaphor.
Yeah, birthing the baby and not raising it up.
A baby can't survive on their own.
Right.
They have to have somebody feed them. They have to have somebody take care of them. A new Christian can't survive on their own.
Right.
They have to have people nourish and take care of them. So whether it's a small group or it's just going out to lunch with them
Mm-hmm.
after church on Sunday, inviting them over for dinner, just somehow letting them know that you love them.
That's true, and the love part is where the heart transformation takes place. When people are loved, they know the love of God, and then they feel as though they can respond. We also know that what's so key about that, though, is the whole discipleship part of that. So I just want to give you a story. So I served on a staff of the Church of the Nazarene in the Detroit area, and it was a mega church. I don't know, 2,300, something like that, 3,000. I don't know how many they had on their rolls. Anyways, one of our larger churches had a pastor that had been there for 30 some odd years. Really dynamite pastor, served on the board of Nazarene Theological Seminary and Olivet University, and he was my mentor. And so I went to him after being in a small Nazarene church, and he said, "Well, Mary, what's your passion?" I said, "Well, evangelism." He said, "Oh, great," because he was so excited about that. And so he said, "So with that passion, and you're looking at all of the programs that we have here." He said, "What do you think would be one thing that you could do that would absolutely start really birthing new babies and raising them up?" And so I said, "Well, the 8 Basic Bible Studies." Fine. What I'm going to do then is several different Sundays, I'm going to invite people to come to your training on 8 Basic Bible Studies, and we're going to raise up these leaders that you want raised up. We did that. We were seeing 60 new converts a month.
Praise God.
From those leaders being trained, knowing how to respond to the new birth. And they were assimilated in leadership roles. They were assimilated because we did a spiritual gift survey, found the leaders that were in that, and they just nurtured them in their gifts. It was just really powerful, wasn't it? Really powerful. That's the first thing. The 8 Basic Bible Studies really started to just make it so that we could identify the measurable growth, because up until that time, there were a number of Nazarenes that were moving around different churches, moving around different churches. And what Dr. Mellish wanted to see was the new growth. And that doesn't mean they weren't having new growth, they were having it, but he wanted to see even more so. And so if you can imagine how powerful that was, 62 converts a month, and we had people that were discipling them right off the bat. They'd spend 8 weeks with these new baby Christians, and they would walk right alongside of them, and they'd get them fitted in, and they would do all the things that they needed to do, answer the tough questions.
It often started at the altar, is when at the altar, then that was the next step.
That was the next step.
And it's a simple program.
Yeah, it's very
But
simple.
It's very simple.
It is It is good.
Mhm.
It's
It
excellent.
is excellent. It is excellent. And so actually he used a lot of my training material and it went on to multiply into the training material for 8 Basic Bible Studies. So that's the part of the rest of the story with
And
that.
after that, then it was the baptism came after that.
Right, and that's right. And then actually that after that became the, welcome to the Church of the Nazarene. Now we're going to have membership. But we did all the rest of the, the spiritual stuff. All that work was done on the front end of it. All that preparation and discipleship. So that's just a really key thing. So the assessment results that we looked at, both with the CEN assessment and the Nazarene assessment, indicated that this church is really challenged, and that for it to turn around, that leadership development needs to take place, a greater, more intentional outreach, and that there's a replication of the things that are really, replication of the celebration, so that people are incentivized in doing more of it. So you have a force multiplication. If you don't incentivize people, they will not want to keep on doing this. There will be no sustainability. So what we talked about is those are 3 strategic goals: leadership, development, and empowerment. Sure. Okay, leadership, development, and empowerment. Okay, what was the second one I mentioned?
We talked about it being outreach and leadership.
Yes, it's the intentional outreach that's measurable, and then it's the celebration. The celebration. Here, I just got through saying it to you, and I went blank. Can't tell I'm a little. Okay. So how do we plan for a safety and security response?
By looking at our risks, at our liabilities, and our needs, and formulate a operational plan for it.
Great. Okay, that's wonderful. He's just right on, spot on. Okay, and then I wanted to know, have all of you, I think John and Carol haven't done this yet, have you all either met with me for questions that you have on your roll? That we really do need to finish that up. Okay, we can do that. And then why is the safety security officer team so valuable to what we're talking about, the overall church response?
People will feel safe and secure here.
Yes. And so
It
as
makes us feel safe too, so we can do our job.
exactly, it frees you up because you feel protected and you feel guided, to be able to do your job. Okay, great. All right, so now we're going to read Timothy 2:1-4 again. Whoever has that, Timothy 2 verses 1-4. And I'd like you to ask yourself, this is the preparation now for the next, topic on resource management that you'll be reading this week. Resource management. So that's 2 Timothy verses 1-4 again. Let's read it now with a little different.
2 Timothy 1:1-4.
2 Timothy, Timothy 2 verses 1-4. I'll get it out. Timothy 2, 1-4.
1 Timothy 2.
1 Timothy 2, 1-4.
Is it 1 Timothy or 2 Timothy?
First Timothy. It's First Timothy? It's First
I woke
Timothy.
up at, you have to, have a little wait a minute, before you do that. I woke up with a headache at 4 o'clock this morning, and I have.
texted me.
Yes, and she knows I did because I was texting her with our planning stuff, and so I'm tired. Go ahead.
Okay. I urge then, first of all, that petitions, prayers, intercession, and thanksgiving be made for all people, for kings and all those in authority, that we may live peaceful and quiet lives in all godliness and holiness. This is good and pleases God our Savior, who wants all people to be saved and come to a knowledge of the truth.
That's a lot, isn't it? So what are some of the takeaways? He wants us to live.
Pray for those in authority.
Pray for those in authority.
For a peaceful life.
Peaceful, godly lives.
To intercede and be thankful.
Be thankful. To be thankful. And
He wants all people to be saved.
And he wants all people to be saved. All people. Not just a few, not just a select few. He's very clear on that. He wants all people to be saved.
And to know the truth.
And to know the truth, see? And to know the truth. Is there such thing as absolute truth? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is the absolute truth. And so that's
Truth is one God,
one God.
and like it said here, the mediator is Jesus Christ.
That's right. Yes.
Not the priest.
Good. Okay. Now, if God wants all people to be saved and to know the truth, which is a mandate, not an option, right? It's a mandate. He doesn't say, "Oh, just go do that if you want to." He says, "Go and make disciples." It's a directive. It's a command. Then, and 90% of the people ask, "Where is God in this?" when there is a crisis. What resources do we have together as a church to respond to this heartfelt cry of people that need, they're lost? What resources do we have? So this is the topic now for this week, resource management. So we won't even know what resources we have until we do what?
Inventory.
Inventory. Good, good, good. Yes, 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 yes. We are going to inventory our capacity, okay?
As
Now-
I read that scripture verse, it also impressed upon me, we need to pray for those who persecute us.
Yes,
We need to pray for.
yes. Not only all those who are in authority, but also those who persecute us.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
The first thing we want to do is be angry or upset or let's get rid of them, but
Yep,
we need to pray for them.
absolutely. That is for sure.
Boy, that's hard.
It is.
No, it's not your first.
It's not, and
reaction.
especially when people lose their lives over that kind of persecution, it's not a cheap thing.
On a big scale, it's really hard, like that, like with
We're gonna get out and dance now with Carol here. You okay?
Hello.
ISIS or whatever it may be, but even on a smaller scale, when someone's treating you wrong at work.
Yes.
When there's all these little one-on-one things going on too.
Right.
It's really hard
Right.
to say, Lord,
Pretty soon, yeah, pretty soon.
I love that
It started
person.
at
I
6:30.
hate what they're doing,
Yeah.
but I love that
Yeah.
person.
Want me to
You
call
gotta
you?
love them too.
Absolutely. So the key thing is you can have a small church, but you can have a big ministry. You can have a small church, but you can have a big ministry. And a small church can be obedient, as the scriptures say, and pleasing to the Father. And that's how you have a big ministry. It comes out of obedience. That's how the fruit, the blessings come from obedience. And a small church can use their existing resources to build capacity. Remember how when Mike talked about the first session that we had? We don't have a resource problem. We have a facilitation problem.
That's right. That's
God has actually supplied the resources. We may not know where they are at, but that's what we're here to discover. Where are our resources? Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is ask yourself, how do we biblically respond together? We identify the community need, we identify our risks, we identify our capacity, and then we're able to better respond in that order. Okay? So what do we have in terms of human and material resources? And so now what we're going to do is divide up and in two groups. And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And so what we're going to do is divide up 4 and 4. And we're going to look at so this is the material you'll be reading this week on resource management. And then let's have Paul, if you would take the capacity assessment, and if you would go over to that table with Karen and Steve and Paul. And then Carol, if you would take the resource identification worksheet and start working through that. And what you can do is you can put it on another piece of paper or whatever the answers, or you can write it right on there. But if you kind of work with your group, and Mike, are you able to work over here with the resource management? That would be really good, dividing up my guys here.
Yeah.
Who have been through it before, and just kind of go through that and see what we can get done in the next few minutes. And if we can't finish it, maybe you'll take it and finish it at home, and then we'll be able to turn it in.
Organization.
Okay.
resource, identification worksheet, situation analysis, identifies the church has done the following. Yes or no? Scored 60% or higher on the Ready Church Capacity Assessment Survey above. Oh, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't, was it? It was 44. So, see? But it's reality, better we face reality,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because then we'll see growth.
Yep.
Member of the local.
Did you want us to actually get rid
Do
of
it,
the phone?
actually do it. Actually do that, please, if you would.
What is it?
She has one. Member.
I have it up here. so, yeah, you
Oh,
can-
okay, member of the local Christian emergency network, CEN, Ready City in our area, I'm sure no. Conducted an
Well,
evaluation.
we're just developing
It's
that.
actually
Yeah. Conducted
Coeur
an
d'Alene
evaluation
Church of the
drill
Nazarene.
and
No.
existing agreements with other agencies in emergencies, not emergencies, but in other things.
You could even divide those up, you know, Paul, to go through them even quicker. Like, you know, assign to person to do some of
Yeah, they
it.
won't know.
Deploy action regionally if a large disaster occurs. No. Volunteer to the next replay
So
crisis.
we are, we're,
Recovery and
Well,
restoration
we don't know,
program.
we don't know.
We, now, on the
yeah,
web
you
there,
guys are
yes, we do.
actually
We can do that through Nazarene Compassion Ministry.
see our church.
But I doubt that there's over 10 people within the church that know.